My daughter held up a worst father alive sign when I came home from the hospital, so I drained her college fund. I'd been working construction for 15 years, taking every overtime shift and weekend job to give my daughter Haley everything she wanted. Private school, dance lessons, new iPhone every year, shopping trips with her friends. My wife Lisa always said I spoiled her too much, but I couldn't help it. She was my only kid, and I wanted her to have everything I didn't growing up. I'd leave the house at 5 in the morning and get back at 8 at night, covered in drywall dust and exhausted, but seeing Haley happy made it worth it. She'd run to the door when she was little, screaming daddy and jumping into my arms. Now at 16, she barely looked up from her phone when I walked in. Lisa said it was just teenage years. I kept telling myself that too. 3 weeks ago, I fell off scaffolding at a job site, 20 feet straight down onto concrete, broke 4 ribs, fractured my shoulder, and got a concussion that had me seeing double for days. The foreman called Lisa from the ambulance, and she rushed to the hospital with Haley. While I was getting x-rays, Lisa told me Haley was really worried and crying in the waiting room. That made me feel better even through the pain. I spent 5 days in the hospital, and Haley visited once for 10 minutes, and complained the whole time about the smell and how gross hospitals were. Lisa apologized for her, saying Haley was just stressed about me being hurt. When I finally got released, I was excited to go home. The doctor said I needed 2 weeks of rest minimum before even thinking about work. Lisa drove me home carefully, avoiding every pothole. She said Haley had made something special for my homecoming. I figured maybe she'd cooked dinner or decorated the house. When we pulled up, I saw Haley standing in the driveway with her friends Becca and Jill. She was holding a big poster board above her head. In huge black letters, it said, "Worst father alive," with an arrow pointing down at her. Her friends were laughing and recording on their phones. Lisa gasped and started yelling at Haley to put it down. Haley rolled her eyes and said it was just a joke for social media, that everyone was doing this trend where you pretend to hate your parents. She said I was being sensitive and couldn't take a joke. I stood there with my arm in a sling, ribs wrapped, head still pounding, staring at my daughter who thought my pain was content for her friends. Lisa grabbed the sign and tore it up while Haley screamed about her ruining the video. Haley called me dramatic and said if I was a cool dad I would have played along. Her friends agreed, saying their dads would have thought it was funny. That night, Haley complained about dinner because Lisa made soup instead of ordering pizza. She said I was ruining her weekend by being home because now she couldn't have people over. When I reminded her I was recovering from almost dying, she said I was exaggerating and that plenty of people fall at work. The next day, while Lisa was at the grocery store, Haley had more friends over. They were loud, and I asked them to keep it down because my head was killing me. Haley told them I was being a baby about a little fall. One of her friends said, "At least I had a job," and Haley said, "Yeah, an embarrassing one where I got dirty and sweaty like some kind of animal." She said she tells people I work in an office so they don't know her dad is just a construction worker. I heard her tell them about how she was counting down until college so she could finally get away from her loser family. She said the only good thing about me was the money I made for her college fund, which was sitting at $40,000 after years of saving. Her friend asked if she felt bad talking like that when I was hurt. Haley said I probably fell on purpose for attention and workers' comp. That's when I made a decision. The next morning, I called my nephew Tommy, who was 20 and working 2 jobs to pay for community college. Smart kid, grateful for everything, always offering to help when he visited. I told him I wanted to talk about his education. He came over that afternoon, and I told him about the college fund I'd been saving. I said I wanted to pay for him to finish his degree in engineering. He cried and said he couldn't accept it. I insisted, and we went to the bank that day to transfer everything. When Haley found out a week later, she lost her mind. She screamed that I'd stolen her future. I reminded her about the sign, about calling me an embarrassment, about saying I was the worst father alive. I told her worst fathers don't save for college funds. She said it was just a stupid joke. I said so was thinking she'd get my money after treating me like garbage. Lisa backed me up completely. Then last night, she came out of her room with a suitcase saying, "I am leaving, and you won't be able to stop me." Full story on channel, link below.